Hello teacher Edgar, my name is Antonio Garcia and I'm going to talk to you about the SDG number 13, Climate Action. I decided to do this SDG because it's a topic hot. Many different problems are in our world right now. We have the war between Ukraine and Russia, the delinquency in many different parts. But I think that the climate change is one of the most important because it's going to decide if we are continue surviving or continue living in this earth or we are going to get extincted. While talking about this SDG, the world's climate is changing. The cause is well understood. It's because of all the contamination and pollution that we are causing from human activities, such as the burning of fossil fuels for heat, the electricity that we are making and the consumption of it, the transportation, the industry process, and the change in land use, the use of the natural resources of our earth. Well, here enters this SDG, which objective is seeks to combat the climate change and addressing its impact, with the purpose to strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity of climate problems and natural disasters. Such events represent the leading edge of the climate change and are like the most important part of our world. If we don't care about our world, the world is going to be down, it's going to be extincted. Some facts about the climate change is that from 2010 to 2019, more than 1.3 billion people were affected seriously enough by extreme weather events such as floods, droughts, heat waves, and cold waves to require emergency assistance. Over that period, floods and droughts were responsible for the greatest human impacts, and we can also see them in many different parts of the world. There was a TV news that says that in Brazil or in other countries of Latin America, we have a lot of floods and are causing a really impacting our society. Our destructions of cities, of people or families, or including deaths of many different people because of that natural disasters. Extreme weather events like this unfortunately affect people living in lower middle income and lower income countries. It refers that the countries that don't have the economic resources or a good society with a lot of money and don't have a good structure for management all these problems are really affected. We can see in many countries like in Africa that because of the heat of waves they have a lot of problems. They don't can afford that problem because they don't have the resources for doing that. But for that also we have some few solutions. First we have to make our voices heard by those in power. We don't have to be in silence. We have to know and telling them that the climate change is important. Eat meat daily. It refers that the consumption of meat can reduce the CO2 CO2 components in the atmosphere. Leaving the car at home, it refers to change our ways of transport. Don't using cars, using like bicycles or other ways that doesn't contaminate the earth. We have to reduce our energy. We have to have a good management of our resources of electricity. We also have to have respect and protect the green places because they are the part of our development. You need to have a good sustainable development and the nature and the world is part of it. And also we have to cut the consumption and wastage. That refers that we have to have a stopping in what are we consuming. We have to have a control in what we are consuming and in what we are exporting or what are we doing with our earth. And I think that the most important part is recycling because the plastics are the main cause of all what is happening in the climate change. If we have a program of recycling, we can solve that problems and also can help us to evade different problems. We have many different problems because of climate change. It poses sustainable risks to food production, water supplies, ecosystems, and energy security, and also in infrastructure. This can lead in many other problems, like for example, the global temperature is rising. You know that the weather is more hotter. Also that the ocean is getting warmer. We don't have a cool ocean like in other times. The ice sheets are shrinking. It refers that the glaciers are melting. They don't They're going to be extended. That also can cause the increasing in the water levels. That's going to cause many natural disasters that can lead like in the loss of earth. We don't with this problem can pass that the oceans are going to be too much bigger that we don't have that we are not going to have a earth. All what is going to be below the water. Also, we have another problems like the Arctic sea ice is deleting. Also, the most important problematic of this and the problem that's going to lead is the extreme events are increasing in frequency. The floods and the natural resources as the earthquakes are going to increase because of the use of all the natural resources. And I think that we have to stop that. We need to give that solutions to the people, to the governments that can help us to do this right. That's all, teacher. Thank you for your attention.